Finding the first terms of a sequence using a recursive rule. So I have my instructions here. It says, suppose that a sequence is defined as follows, okay? Now, a recursive rule means, excuse me, that I have a little set of instructions here, okay? Symbolic instructions telling me how I'm going to generate this sequence, okay? And it's in sequence notation, so this A subscript 1, or we say A sub 1 here, the subscript is kind of like a little, like an exponent. Oh, instead of writing it to the top right of the base, we're writing it to the bottom right, okay? So A sub 1, or in other words, the value of the first term in my sequence is -3, okay? So N, the little N's we see here in all of these subscripts, stand for the term number. And I want the first 4 terms. So I want the first term, the second term, the third term, and the fourth term of my sequence, okay? Now it tells me the value of my first term, okay? You can kind of think it that way in your head when you see A, think to yourself the value of, okay? So the value of the first term is -3. So they're telling me that the first term in my sequence is -3. That one's just a given, okay? I don't have to do any work for that one. Because, again, a recursive rule is based on knowing the previous term. So they have to tell me at least one of the values to start with. So they're telling me start with -3. Then it says to find the value of any other term, n, so the second, third, and fourth terms, okay, the value of any other term, I need to, and here's my instructions for generating this sequence. I'm going to do -2 times, okay, so I'm always going to do -2 times, okay. Now this means the value of the previous term. So if I'm looking for the second term, I'm going to do -2 times the value of the previous term, the first one, okay? 2 minus 1 is 1. So I'm doing -2 times the value of the 2 minus 1 term, or the value of the first term, plus 10. Okay? Well, 2 minus 1 is just 1, right? I just substituted in 2 there for the n. Okay? So I'm really doing -2 times A sub 1, okay? Which is this, -3. Okay, so I'm going to erase this now and replace it with -3. Okay, this one will be A sub 2, or the value of the second term. So A sub 2 is equal to -2 times -3, which is +6, plus 10, which is 16. Okay, now I want A sub 3, or the value of the third term. The term number is 3. A means the value of, okay, or the term value. So the value of the third term in my sequence is going to be -2 times, right? Again, these are my instructions. Take -2 and you're going to multiply it by the value of term 3 minus 1, right? If n is 3, I'm finding the value of the term 3 minus 1. Well, 3 minus 1 is just 2, okay? Or I'm going to do -2 times the value of the second term plus 10, okay? And A2 is 16. So I need to do -2 times 16, which is -32, plus 10, which is +22. Okay? So to find the value of the fourth term, right, n is 4, I'm on the fourth term, I'm going to do -2 times the previous term, which is 22, okay? I'm looking for the fourth term, so I'm going to go back to the third term, which is 22, and add 10. Negative 2 times 22 is negative 44, plus 10 is negative 34 for the value of the fourth term. So my sequence as a list would look like this. Negative 3, comma, 16, comma, 22, comma, negative 34, comma. And I could generate as many more terms as I wanted to, right, based on this set of instructions.